Right, looks like we're probably live now. So I'll start the regular usual intro. So this live stream is for the Linux tech enthusiast people only, as I know there's been a lot of new people who've come into my channel over the recent past. And this is a live stream I've been doing for a while now, just live streaming until I get 2 to the power of X Superchat donations. So this is the 1024 iteration, and it's just for fun, and it has to end eventually. And this will probably be the last one. I'll talk a bit about that in a sec. So only do a donation if you're a longtime viewer who's watched many of my videos and likes them, particularly the tech content. In the next 5 minutes, I prefer to not get a huge donation. I think many smaller, $5 donations, but that is the contract. So once I hit the goal, then the stream will end, just like the last ones. So the suggested price list, I've been meaning to get a better price list, but we got our first super chat from Manuel AVNI for our 199. Thank you very much, and that's your first super on a live stream. So to continue with the intro, in my 37-year-old broke loser video, a lot of people were like, "Oh, that sucks." But I want to give people an update that the immediate financial urgency has been resolved. So that video did very well, and it brought in quite a bit of ad revenue. So the immediate financial urgency from December has been resolved. So from just that video, the credit card debt, the business and the personal, I can pay off that, and also it covers a month of rent. And then for my channel is still getting I've gotten quite a big bump in views and subscribers. So for the current month, things are. I'm already. I said before to be cash flow positive, I have to make more than $1,600 in a month, and the ad revenue so far this month is like close to $3,000 so far this month. So I'm not in the dire straits that I was before. And any super chat donation money goes to me personally, and I promise to spend it on candy. And Google takes 30% cut, but I've been willing to eat that because it's Google that puts all the people here. So whatever, the Google algorithm reigns supreme. So we got to make sure Google gets their cut. Let's see. Are you planning to do projects that involve signal processing? Yes, actually. I have a million ideas for projects, but there's so many things required to survive. I actually have some like half-finished signal processing projects that I'd like to get back to, but at this point, it's going to be there's so many things in the pipeline. I don't know if I can't promise anything. Bradley sends $2 two for 99. Two for 99. I don't quite understand the reference, but thank you for the $2. €5 superb content. Thanks from Maxi SA. Thank you very much, and that's your first super on a live stream. Okay, and so for an update on the N13 eviction, so I said in one of my previous videos that the N13 eviction hearing, which was originally scheduled for February 19th, has been rescheduled to a case management hearing on January 27th. So I won't comment too much on that because it's case management that affects me and some other people, and who knows, maybe Michael Klein is if they're watching this live stream right now, but Michael Klein, my landlord. So won't comment much more on that. I've been this week I've been just working on preparing evidence, because technically you're supposed to get all your evidence into the LTB 7 days in advance. So there's like technically only a couple days to meet that deadline, but I don't know. I think they're giving some people some leeway, and there's a lot of unknowns. But anyway, and I was working on a new long form video, but to kind of keep up the momentum on my general topics. But for at least this week, I gotta focus on the hearing, and then lots of stuff is up in the air because I don't know what's necessarily going to happen up until and after that hearing. Congrats on YouTube views. Notice that Canadian home prices and rents are coming down. Peak immigration appears to be behind Canada. Yes, I have seen rents are coming down, but I've actually even, I don't know what'll happen because our government is so much up in the air, and I have even heard real estate people start talking about bringing back some of the high immigration again, because they might do that because if housing prices, our entire system is based on housing, so we may go down to zero immigration for a while. I think we're supposed to get population decrease for a while, but we may actually go back to the real estate people who own the country may go back to turning on the immigration again. They'll say we turned off immigration for 8 months and then we'll go back to crazy again. Glad to see another stream. This seems to be doing really well. It's not sustainable, but I'll try to get this one in. Looks like it's going to be a fun long stream. Yeah, I expect this one will be the longest one, probably by extrapolating the numbers, probably 6 hours. Some processing. Looks like some processing would be cool. Are you moving out? At this time, not yet. I'm gonna hang on for a while. We'll see what happens with the hearing on the 27th. There's a lot of unknowns about that. What's your opinion on Canadian tech labor market? What's our future looking like? It's a really quite good question. There's so many things that are in flux. Even everything, everything comes from the government down, but we don't have a government now, and when does Trump come in? A couple of days from now. So I think things will be more clear in 2 or 3 months. We'll even to know, are things going to be bad or good? We will know for sure, or with more confidence, I think, in a few months. Tutorial. I make a tutorial on how to hack Pentagon. That's not good. They're not going to like that. Coffee Crisp Fund from Econ, $5. Thank you very much. We're already up to 27. The more people you make angry, the more viewers, the more the algo promotes you. I guess it depends. I don't want to make too many people angry, because then I can only afford to have so many enemies. Who does he make angry? Anonymous sends $5 to 2 for 99. Come from my Sam Hyde meme where he brought in. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Don't lose your voice this time. I'll probably be even worse this time if I keep talking. I'll have to divide things up for a while. Even this time I tried to plan a bit more. I planned more for this stream. Well, I planned way more for this stream than the last stream, but I'll have to set up break times or something. Wish you luck. Have a nice stream. Thank you very much. Hello, my favorite YouTuber. Hello, my favorite commenter. Now sends $2. What are your thoughts on astrology software? I would say I've honestly never thought about astrology software, to be honest. I would say rsync. Andrew Shai sends £5. Congrats. Do you think YouTube will become your primary source of income long-term versus programming? Honestly, from a business perspective, my business strategy has been just do a bunch of things, and then whatever makes money, keep doing more of that. So one of the comments that I got my 37-year-old broke loser video was oh, you kept you kept switching between things. But what's more accurate is like I would do something and then it would stop producing revenue. And so like, a lot of those projects or the contracts, like I would usually keep doing it until it became clear like this contract is not producing money. And then I'd have to go find another thing that produces money. And, at this point, it has been for a while. It has been YouTube and the contracting stuff, but then the contracting stuff has gone away. So I have, 12 hours, 16 hours to work in a day. So I just, YouTube has kind of filled up that vacuum. And at the moment, YouTube seems to be bringing in money. So I'm just going to keep doing more of that. And it seems like there's a niche for that. And I also like YouTube because it can potentially lead to lots more other stuff. So I can advertise things and whatnot on. So I think YouTube, was a necessary vehicle now for bootstrapping other kinds of business activities. How much you made so far, Rob? Depends what you mean and what in what context. I guess the total in the chat revenue so far is it's over in the corner there, 46, just in the top left-hand corner. Anonymous sends $5. I tried to hire programmers. When I mentioned my project on astrology, they're intimidated or simply not interested. ChatGPT always gets it wrong too. I don't know. Astrology and programmers, I imagine it's not a huge overlap in that market, but it depends on what you need programmed. I'm sure there's at least someone out there willing to work on that for you. If there's anyone who can help him out with his astrology programming, feel free to mention it in the chat. You do AI comparison stuff. They compare how you explain a Linux command versus ChatGPT. That is a good topic. I actually did. I had some back in the day. I asked just for fun, like because people started commenting on my Linux command line shorts, like. Is this wow? These videos are made from AI and stuff. So I was like, could AI actually make these? And the conclusion was, if the topic is something with lots of documentation, like something like the ls command or cp or something, it does quite well. But then I asked it something about I think it was the ptx command, and it gave me a bunch of descriptions of like. It looked like it thought it was the ffmpeg command, so it was like video encoding or something, but that has nothing to do with what the command is about. I don't have you ever done a sponsorship? I guess probably mean I don't think I've ever seen you do a sponsorship. I have not done any sponsorships. Actually, in this stream, so in the last stream I got a couple. Big super chats, and there's a couple people who've been super chatting a few times, and so I'm actually going to. It's not sponsored, but just to fill up some content because I think they're interesting projects. There's a couple of people who sent in super chats last time that I'll cover in this one. So personally, I wouldn't actually. I like kind of. I don't really want to like shill VPNs and stuff like that. But if people have like, GitHub projects or something, I wouldn't mind just giving a bit of attention to some of those things for like, $5 or something. Let's see. Anonymous ends, do you have a tutorial of training a large language model to train on your data using CSV file? I have not even dove into that topic at all. I'm kind of really behind the curve. There's just been too much non-programming stuff going on. Housing. Lately, I've become more of an expert on housing issues and LTV filing rules and such. Why do you not stay with NVIDIA or Amazon when you have been familiar? So I actually have a couple of videos on and talked about my experience. I have one for Amazon and one for NVIDIA. So those are my extended thoughts on those topics. In the end, it's like you think that maybe you can do better on your own. I thought like if I work as hard as I worked here, I'm working on my own, I can probably do better. But so far, that has not proven true. But who knows? Maybe the YouTube thing will take off. And Brad is a member for 9 months. Nice. This live stream is sponsored by Gord VPN TM. Yep, definitely not some kind of thing to take all your information and stuff. Yeah, the main thing I wonder about VPNs is when you send information through the VPN, it has to go through the internet, like it has to go through their internet service provider. So why is it that my internet service provider charges me like $90 a month or something? Or it actually just went up. It's like 80 something. But when it goes to a data center, then it goes through their internet service pipe. So the bandwidth is being paid for twice as much. So there must be some kind of something they're getting out of it. Sponsorships and affiliates will offer YouTube AdSense revenue. I use an agency called In the Black Media, and they're very good. Yeah, I think the main thing is like just getting the views and everything up. And I mean, it's only been in the past few months that the views have been like kind of crazy. So, now that the views are there, and of course I have to be able to sustain those views. But if I can prove the views, then I think the sponsorship it's actually worth maybe spending some time on. But honestly, I would kind of prefer to do maybe a series of smaller sponsorships just to get some attention on like homebrew projects or some of the stuff I'll talk about in the stream, rather than the kind of, I mean, you guys probably saw the controversy with that honey plugin. Everyone's like, oh man, honey is great, you should install it on all these things, but all it does is it steals referral tracking codes. So I mean, back to my theme about productivity in society. We're becoming like a society of scammers, just trying to scam other people. And society can't function if we're just like creating all these nonsense products that just try to steal things. Just want you to know, I really appreciate your videos in a difficult situation myself. Sharing helped me cope a bit better. Hopefully there's there's something. Some people can find some stability in just taking a difficult situation and reviewing what your options are, and the only way to keep going is to keep going forward. Killer Bean current gen AI is being explored at face value a lot. But what about the unexpected users and scenarios? I'm not 100% Killer Bean current gen. Oh, maybe you're responding to someone else. Oh, sorry, I can't. That is a username. Okay, so that's a side conversation. You should promote products that you actually use or believe in. I guess I could, but at the same time, I kind of like. There's a couple of projects I'll mention once I get around to it. Okay, let me move on a little bit. Okay, so update on my computer fan. So my fan of my main computer is still failing, and the replacement has been in the mail system for over 40 days now. And the estimated time of arrival of the computer fan is 2 days ago. The exact same fan problem has started happening in my old backup computer. So hopefully that doesn't happen during this stream, because otherwise I'll have to I probably have to cut it off early. I can't remember if I mentioned. Here it is. So for this stream, this will be the last of the 2 to the X Superchats stream. So once I get to the 1024, that'll be it for this one, because my hearing is going to be on the 27th, but the last, if I do every Saturday, the next one would be on the 25th, and that one I assume 2048. That would probably end up going quite a while, maybe like 12 hours or something. And then for the hearing date, I need to be able to speak, and I got to be well rested. So I think I'll end the series here. I think it's a decent point to end it. I wouldn't mind trying this series again with like actually selling products or something. There's YouTube, I think, has a thing where you can actually sell products through your site. And I actually do have a store, and I made like, a few $100s worth of sales there. But yeah, that's something I haven't looked into. And David Rock sends 2 New Zealand dollars. I'll bet that for $1. I'll bet that. I'm not sure what the reference is, but thank you to David Ruck. And Hassan Sebith sends £5. Real ADV. How to become good in programming. Python with 1 month. With limited time to be able to do high school exam projects. 2 option on tech lead. I'm not 100% sure I understand the comment. Real ADV, is that like a specific YouTube channel? It's limited time. Thank you very much to Hassan Sabbath, and that's your first super chat on a live stream. I was slowly just considering how to upgrade my fan yesterday. Get away sometimes with using a non-corrosive lubricant for a short while. Maybe you're referring to something I can't. Chat's starting to go too fast. Total tech, first world problems. KSL, sorry, my eyes aren't good. Miner799, I like your content. Thank you very much. I'm severely depressed. Oh, that's unfortunate. But hopefully now that you're here, we can cheer you up. How do you feel about C++? It's insanely complicated. I feel like I've spent a lot of time learning C, and I almost feel like there's even corners of C that are even there's newer standards of C coming out now. So it's I kind of feel like no one single individual has actually ever learned C++, and even I think the creator himself said he only knows like 30% of it because it's just so they keep adding new crazy features to it. Sitting here working on what is going to be my mom's Linux desktop and listening to my Linux guru. Thanks, Robert. Oh, thank you for the kind words. Thank you to Ginger Halo for $4.99. And that's your third super chat on a live stream. Rob, where's my advice? Did I miss something you said? That was your question about Python. Can you rephrase the question? I didn't quite get what that was. Brett Price sends $2. Hope you get the $sign you need. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think from the last for the last couple of months have been way above $700. So I'm doing the immediate financial outlook has improved significantly, but of course, December, January, those are the best month of the year. So I've got to stockpile some cash for a while and prepare for the looming 20%, 25% tariffs that are about to hit us and destroy our economy. So who knows what's going to happen with that? Enjoying the numerous member perks. Are there numerous member perks? I guess I could work more. Actually, someone asked me to I should have better, I think, like icons for them. But I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And then things have just been too crazy lately. Stefan Jorula says woot. That's a neat. Is that the super chat stickers? It's interesting. I need to actually experiment more with this on the the viewer side, I actually to date I've actually never sent a super chat. So now that I'm getting so many of them, I should pay back to the community a bit. Gotta get some PC help, please. Just built my new custom build today. Honestly, I don't put together many PCs, but I guess you can probably ask a quick question in the chat. There's probably more than at least a few people here who know the latest of how to put things together. Veteran biker says, "Is this just begging?" No, you can go back to and check the intro if you're not a long-time Linux command line follower. Kyle McBurnett says, start with a small problem you can solve in your product, write the code, and move on to the next problem. My question was how to become good in programming in Python with limited time, 1 month, which I need to be able to pass an exam and finish a school programming project. If it's about passing the exam, I would say the number one thing is you need to focus on like if you can get examples of old tests and stuff. So rather than trying to learn the whole language, learn what questions you're likely going to be asked, and then even if you just learn how to solve a handful of problems that that professor likes to ask, in like if you're in school, then go back over, even just like focus on learning really specific questions that they did, and then at least you might not really understand the language, and you might not be able to generalize, but at least because quite often professors will ask a question that's like they'll just change a couple of the numbers or something, and then it's almost the same question. So yeah, that's my advice on that. Usually that's how things go in university. If you want better coding Python, use Copilot. Actually, I never thought of that. I've never. I came after the time of Copilot. You have never sent a super chat, but beg for cash. Maybe you will be the first one that I send one to. I've got a lot going on at the moment, but it's definitely on the to-do list. Practice a lot of problems. Yeah, I would say practice lots of problems, but it is also the number one thing is like make sure you're learning the right the right ones. Sir what's sorry, I'm not pronouncing that well, sends 50 euros. Wow. Celebrate their 5th super on a live stream. Super effective. Awesome. Thank you very much for that. And so we're already at 184. So we're I've only been streaming I haven't even got through my intro content yet. You don't have the time, buddy. I don't know. I would say if you're just looking at passing a course, like learning the whole language, like even experienced programmers have something to learn about a language, and nobody ever, I think, really learns a language. It takes a lifetime, and by the time you really like learn the language, they will have added new features to the language. There'll be new versions, new frameworks and stuff to know. Do not buy altcoins. Yeah, I would say personally. If you want advice from a broke loser, I would say don't buy all those altcoins and stuff. The big issue with those is getting hacked and getting your stuff stolen. This is going to be a long one. I thought it was going to be a long one, but it's ramping up pretty quick. We're already at 184. Did your landlord kick you out? So my eviction hearing, there's a case management hearing on the 27th. So I'm preparing for that, and that's going to be, we're going to figure out what happens on the 27th. I think it may be the first of like multiple hearings, probably. Don't have any money, but I hope by sending a message and directing. It'll push stream to people who do. Hi. Thank you very much for the kind words. Yeah, for those of you sending super chats, only do that if you're one of the rich people who decided to work at Amazon and you got your $5 million in stock options. Then feel free to send $5 or maybe $20 or something. But for those of you who are just learning programming or starting out your career, you can just hang out and benefit from the chat. What happens if you achieve 1,024 in record time here and break the exponential time curve? Will you be shocked? Maybe the dollar sold goes up and actually gets fast. I'm not sure. Actually, so this is going to have to be the last one, because next week. So if I do these every Saturday, it's going to be right before my eviction hearing. So actually, probably next week, I'm probably just going to go back to like the boring streams. So there's going to be no goal, and I'll probably. The big problem is, this is a problem with like when your landlord is trying to unlawfully evict you, is you have no stability in the future. So I have no idea what's going to happen after the 27th. There may be some crazy thing that happens. There may be more hearings, so everything's up in the air. First, Casa Loma post. Casa Loma. I'm not sure what that refers to, but thank you very much. Alumni quad for the $25, and that's your 10th Super Chat live stream. You should do a video where you interview the rich Amazon NVIDIA people who stayed. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. I know I have a lot of friends who did, and they might have some. I think that would be an interesting perspective, because a lot of, I'd say almost all of my friends from school did better than I did, who went to those companies. I mean. I guess I can't say that universally, because I think there are a few that I don't know what happened. They got out of some tax. They one of them I'm not quite sure what happened, but he said he owed a whole bunch of back taxes, and yeah, I mean, actually I did know a couple other people who said taxes gave them anxiety, so they owed all these back taxes, so they just never filed their taxes and stuff. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're a software engineer. Why don't you just hire an accountant or something? Money, not fake coins, from a bio guy, not programmer. Oh, you're a biology major? Thank you very much for the $2 to person's ors. And I think I missed that one. €5 from El Khmer. Thank you very much. How much did you make off that viral video? It was the ad revenue was about $5,000 from the 37-year-old broke loser one, and then I think the super thanks was around 2,000. Opinion on tech lead YouTuber. He is a I think it's generally accepted that he's a controversial figure. There are some things that he says that are it's clear that he understands the industry, but sometimes he says stuff and you're like, oh, it's a joke. He's joking that he's arrogant, but then he says other stuff. He's like, is he just joking about everything? He did that million token coin, which was, I guess, another rug pull. But then again, I think it's like, I don't understand rug pulls. It's like people just announce they're going to do a rug pull, and they're like, hey, buy my coin. And it's just a way to give people money. And because 100% of the time, people always rug pull. It's just a meme now, so I don't. Yeah. Low quality device, $0. That's what I'm here for. Way more interesting, entertaining. Yeah, it's a good value. Opinion on Jupyter notebooks versus building out libraries on Python. I've only had a little bit of experience with Jupyter notebooks, but from my understanding, they're kind of just like a low fidelity way to experiment with. I think that makes sense if you're like basically prototyping a piece of code. You can kind of build it as a Jupyter notebook, and then once you have like a low fidelity way of doing whatever you want to do, then you can refactor that Jupyter notebook into maybe some more slightly robust Python, an actual Python script with error checking and stuff, and then my progression would be then eventually once that's figured out, then once that's finalized, then you would maybe personally I would eventually rewrite it in some other language. It's maybe a bit more verbose and has better type safety and stuff like JavaScript and stuff. Or Java. 1% of your goal. Love the resilience I see on your channel. Keep it up. Thank you very much to Unmanageable Bird for 1024 euros. And that's your fifth super chat on a live stream. You are smart and talented. I wish you find the best and a winning way to put your talents to work in 2025 and benefit from it like you deserve. Thank you. Thank you very much to the font is Ilya. I have to BNG 20. Actually, I'm not sure what. I wish it explained what currency things were. I wish I need blinds on the window. The glare makes it really difficult to read the chat right now, but it'll be should be dark here pretty soon. I do a lot of biology modeling in Jupyter notebooks. Yeah, I think for like kind of scientific prototyping, of something, it makes sense to do whatever kind of low fidelity way of writing stuff. It doesn't, because if you're writing a piece of code with all kinds of error checking stuff, it's especially if you're doing it as like a one-time thing, it's like a one-time query, then your channel is depressing a bit. Working as a software engineer for 10 years already. It seems that any own business would fail inevitably. Yeah, it's I know it is kind of depressing. It's been on my to-do list to do some more the positive perspective on things, because I do think like in the 37-year-old broke loser video, there's a lot of failures in that, but there's also small successes. Now, I didn't talk much about the successes, really for a couple of reasons. The successes, there was no drama in the successes. They were like, hey, write this code, and then I write the code and we deploy it and it's successful. Like there's nothing, there's really not a lot to say there. I could talk about the technicals. I could say like what I was working on, but most of it is like confidential and stuff. And because those were actually like successful companies, and I have nothing. There's nothing bad to say there. It's I don't want to speak about the confidential details of a project that was actually successful. And there are a few other topics I'd like to like about how to get contracts and stuff like that. I think that would benefit people, because I did. It wasn't like I went out and I couldn't find any of these things. I survived for 10 years until today. So there is a way to do it, but ideally you would just be a bit less unlucky and not get rent evicted. And I think maybe if you were not in Canada, Canada's housing situation is just it's crazy here. Can you get a fridge magnet with BLAS, my favorite Linux command in your store? Similar to regex magnet. Yeah, that would be a pretty good idea. Maybe we could make it so the command is by itself, and then the next part of the magnet is my favorite Linux commands. You can change them. Thank you to Dan Mac for $1.99, and that is your third super on the live stream. Thank you very much. Unmanageable Bird, an experience with signing apps for macOS. Just built something from source, and it won't run. I have no experience from that at all, but there might be someone in the chat who does have experience with that, and if they can help you out, then feel free to chat to Unmanageable Bird. Are you dyslexic? Maybe, I don't know. My vision is not great, so technically I'm supposed to wear glasses, but I just don't because it's pain. And I have contact lenses actually in the cabinet, but I just never wear them. You should work on a startup, build in public, using your existing platform, meet co-founders who complement your skills. I'll give you content and change your situation. I mean, I would say I basically am doing that. In my mind, I've always been building a startup since day one. Like years ago when I first started, the whole point of the consulting stuff was to bring in enough cash flow to fund experiments, to do other stuff, and I've done some of that, but I just have not had the sustained cash flow to really invest in building a product and stuff like that. But I mean, the other thing, the other main reason I like YouTube is because not only does it bring in revenue, but it also solves the marketing problem. So having like the process, like normally marketing costs money, but on YouTube, marketing basically pays you money. So I could do a huge segment talking about some products or something. See, do you think specializing in bioinformatics is biochemistry major until now? All assignments are done in Python. And Bash and very used to be ChatGPT. It's a good question. I would say the most important thing is like look at where the jobs are. So if you're competing with look at the supply and demand. How many people are graduating with that specific thing that you're looking to go into and specialize in, and then where's the future going to go, and where's the demand going to be? Because I think even with ChatGPT, like all these AIs, they need lots of data to be correct. But for some of that, like very specialized, like bioinformatics and stuff like that, you can make convincing sounding gibberish, but someone actually needs to do the initial analysis. And I think the actual raw data probably doesn't exist yet. So it's all about research about like how many people are you competing with, and are the jobs there? Diego Vale sends $10. Thank you very much. I feel like my voice is already starting to run out. I don't know how those famous streamers do this for 12 hours a day. Low quality advice. How do I get my first paying job as a software developer? I know computers, from logic gates to programming. I don't want to do just busy work. I mean, it's hard to get exactly what you want. I'm probably the wrong person to ask about getting a job, software developer job today. But I mean, it's become much more complicated because you have to optimize for all those like resume builder, resume scanning tools, the things that look for keywords and whatnot. So you've got to adapt your approach to that. I don't know. I guess it's all about getting the numbers up, because from what I understand on LinkedIn now, there's that guy actually. What's his channel? You guys probably know him. He does all these videos about how the job market is terrible, and like he uses the phrase like corporate kindergarten. He talks about, and he complains about he set up some profiles on LinkedIn to see what it's like as a company to set up job posts, and it's not tech lead. It's he goes into detail about all the different nonsense that neat code. I'm not sure if that's it. He has some experiences in corporate tech and just really negative experiences, and so he does a whole bunch of videos about just how awful it is getting a job and what it's like on the recruiter side, how you can set all these things to like auto reject people when you submit a resume and you don't even know about it. So like I would say learn about how those things work. In fact, that's probably even a good thing to Google. Just Google like how to auto reject people on LinkedIn, and just Google that, and there's probably like a ton of YouTube videos about what it's like to be an interviewer. And then if you can like kind of learn that process, and then as a person who's trying to get a job, just like learn how to work that system from the other side. See, too many chats coming in. Can an IT aspirant get into IT, DevOps, cloud networking, etc. without a degree or certifications and micro credentials enough? That's a good question. In my opinion, like when I meet someone, if someone is self-taught without a degree, I know this. A lot of people who don't have a degree kind of feel a bit of insecurity about it. But in my opinion, if you actually become a good developer and you don't have a degree, I consider that like even more impressive than if you got the degree, because you learned all the stuff. You're really self-motivated. Now for that will affect you for things like getting visas. So if you want to like go to a different country, it's going to limit your options, because now you can't like, for example, I'm in Canada. If I want to get a job in the US, it's easier if I actually have the, credential. But if you don't have that credential, then it kind of limits you to your own country. Now for kind of local jobs and stuff like that, I think if you can demonstrate that you can do the work, but that's kind of where it becomes more challenging, because if you have the degree and they can verify it, then they can kind of just rubber stamp like, okay, this person can at least do these projects. But it is definitely possible. But I think I think if you have good people skills, then if you can like network and stuff, and good at talking to people, then I think that might even put you ahead a bit more. Actually, honestly, from my degree, in terms of if I want to get a job, I would say like the people that I graduated with. I mean, I've kind of drifted away from some of those people and don't keep up with them as much. But like immediately after graduation, if I talk to my peers and stuff and say like, hey, do you guys know of any place where I could get a job? Even if I don't, not best friends with them or something, just having those like being one step closer to someone who actually is in the industry, that's probably the biggest advantage. That's probably a bigger advantage than the actual knowledge of the degree. So if you can, if you can network and you could start going to like local, I've been looking in the area here in Waterloo for like networking events and stuff like that, but a lot of that has kind of died off after COVID. So I'm not sure where you are, but that might, depending on if there are like tech events and stuff you can go to in your area, then that would be a great place to start that. Actually, sounds very good advice. No more apps, especially apps that are just websites within an app. You can go back to websites. Yeah. RF. No, don't delete everything. Do you think your situation is due to social changes, economic recession, too many graduates, work losing value? Would your company have succeeded 20 years ago? It's a good question. Certainly society is changing a lot. In my opinion, like in hindsight, I kind of actually think like the market that I thought existed for what I wanted to do, it just doesn't exist for that kind of like entry level, just like leveraging services and expertise in software development to small businesses. And so many small businesses have no need for any kind of software development services. Whereas, I kind of compared it to like if you start a plumbing company or something, how you can you can easily start a plumbing company and just like start doing plumbing jobs, and then you can grow your business from there. And if someone calls you and says like, hey, I have a plumbing problem, can you fix this plumbing problem? The probability that is an actual like cogent, like it's not a crazy, insane. They're like, hey, I want to build like a massive pyramid out of pipes, and it's going to be like, the Burj Khalifa or something. No one calls a plumber and asks for questions like that. But in the software development world, that is like most of the things. People are like, oh, I'm going to build Facebook, and we're going to make $1 billion or something. So such a high percentage of the things that people are thinking about are just like pipe dreams that are never going to pan out. And that I think was the kind of critical thing that I didn't realize. And for the specific example of that, consult my 37-year-old broke loser video, because those are the specific anecdotes with all the detail to describe what I'm talking about, and back up my position on that. Low quality device is false advertisement. Oh, sorry. Subscribe for more lies and deception. Got introduced to you for your video, how to become 37-year-old broke loser. Incredibly insightful video. Wishing you great success. Thank you very much. So why not just hang around some university and make friends, go to tech conventions and make connections instead of wasting your studying. Actually, to be honest, like if you're like good, if you're like I would say if you're good socially, but like also if you can like socialize with nerds, and like if you're when I say if you're good at socializing, I'm not thinking like like a typical like someone who behaves like a jock or something. But if you could just go to some of these events and stuff like that and meet people that way, just having a big network would really put you ahead. Lots of chats here. Welcome to student. Oh, you're a new subscriber. Glad Gretchen. And Austin sends 20 pounds. Congrats on 100k subs. Oh yeah, I forgot. Thank you for that. Now I'm at over 100k now. Wow. AG sends $100 and good luck. And a Shamrock. Thank you very much. And that's your first super on a live stream. Wow, that's a really huge first super on a live stream. Thank you very much. I'm a flyby observer. Your community posts are hilarious. Going forward for you, I believe these live chats will help grow your community skills, the ability to move quickly from thought to expression, which is key. Thank you for the kind words. Whoa. 6Dano6 says, whoa is definitely correct. That's a huge super chat. Way above the recommended price guideline. Let's see, Bradley sends $2. Holy monies. Yeah, I mean, we're almost halfway there already. This one might even go shorter than the last one. I have a company called Invent Automation. Everyone who calls me wants something has never been done before. I know the feeling of trying to deliver crazy things. Invent Automation. Okay, so it is a technical company. Yeah, like a plumber. Like I think the probability of someone calling you as a plumber with a crazy idea is extremely low. But I could imagine even in automation, it's probably like I remember when I was at the college, I supervised a capstone project, and we were supposed to like. The whole idea is, as a professor, we were supposed to supervise and help these students do a capstone project, and someone wanted them to do they're like, and this was before AI got big. This was maybe 5 years ago. They're like, we want to do an AI powered like lawnmower that's going to like recognize weeds on your lawn and like go around and like recognize things and then pull out the weeds for you and stuff. And it was just like we had like, so the term is supposed to be like 15 weeks, but then there's holidays, so it's actually like 13 weeks, and then there's a couple days off for other stuff, so it's like technically 11 weeks, and then we have to like get the project done before and present it, so it's actually 10 weeks. And so to crunch all that down to like 10, to take a student, teach a student to build an automated robot that's going to use AI to do all this stuff, like there's absolutely no way. So we had to kind of just like, I had to just say, okay, let's cut down let's cut down this problem and say like, we'll just get you to learn how to, interface with a Raspberry Pi camera that's going to, take a picture and like maybe apply some filters to it and try to like recognize something. But I think that's a really big problem in society. People are really disconnected from what is even possible. And, that's back to one of the other themes I said is we have a really, we don't have a lack of tech talent. We have a lack of good leadership. There's not a lot of people, the people at the top asking for things are asking for just like crazy nonsense. Salute. Interesting. So I'm kind of confused that in the chat it's like so it has like a red bubble. Is that when people like the when people are that must be people commenting on the super chat. Okay. Why are folks sending you money? So I'm doing this silly thing where for the past few months I started at $1. I said live streaming until I get $1 in super chats. Live streaming until I get $2 in super chats. Live streaming until I get $4 in super chats. And then this is the current iteration, which I think this will have to be the last one because next week I have to get ready for my eviction hearing on the 27th. What business do you have? I had been historically doing software consulting, but that has pretty much dried up to nothing. And now YouTube seems to be the main thing. Let's see, that's talking to someone else. How can I send the super chat? I'm not sure. I think there's a button somewhere under the stream, maybe. Van Pat sends five pounds. Go Robert. Thank you very much for being on my side. And that's your first super on a live stream. Let's see, I missed a bunch. Yo, Robert, you smart. Go into Web3 crypto app development, make money, learn trading. Absolutely not. I got into that years ago. That's something I got to put out some content on that to give people my very, very negative take on crypto and all that stuff, cryptocurrency. Make a video on Shred, FedDev, other government funding models, their impacts on Canadian startups would be interesting. I'm not super qualified about like the specific programs, but I do know there's a lot of like waste and stuff that goes on. The recent one, maybe it's a country thing. You have to use a VPN. Oh, okay, interesting. What are we at? In the total, we're at 497, so we're almost halfway there. What tech stack do you use? I missed a couple. Do you think that lack of good leadership comes from nepotism? I think that can be one cause. I think there's multiple simultaneous causes. One is I think we have a problem with culture. I think in the culture of entrepreneurship, if you look at the kind of risk reward ratios that people are chasing like really, really high rate of return, like kind of head in the cloud, like the idea of like a super amazing cowboy entrepreneur, like the kinds of news articles people would write about like some young entrepreneur who raised $1 million, like Dragon's Den. I think that's kind of an over-dramatized way of presenting entrepreneurs, and I think that makes too much of the entrepreneurship is focused on like the moonshot ideas, and there's not enough things in the economy focused on the like kind of the lower rate of return but higher probability of success startups. And so everything, all of our culture is kind of clustered around like making an app that's going to be bigger than Facebook, and like very, very few of those actually succeed. What tech stack do you use? I use, I guess it depends on what I'm doing. I'd say if it's like a desktop app, I tend to prefer Java. If it's like a low fidelity prototyping, I usually go from like maybe something on Shell, and then once I, as need be, I'll maybe introduce some Python scripts, and then if I need, much more robustness, then I'll go to Java. But I guess in terms of like web stack, I try to, lately most of my stuff has gone serverless to try and avoid, having stuff that can get hacked. Thank God he's not crypto bro. Yes, as soon as if someone messages me and they're like, "Yo, I got a great opportunity for you," and then I check their Twitter and it's all like crypto stuff, I'm just like, that's immediately ignore that person. There's too much. It used to be kind of an interesting thing, but there's too much like crazy nonsense in that, and it's come to be just like all scamming and stuff. Is that your landlord knocking? I think that was someone upstairs. I haven't heard any more knocks. So, Sick FV sends €5. Sorry, not much. I will continue doing videos. They're hilarious and well produced. Thank you very much. That actually is. I mean, it's €5. That's worth more than $5 Canadian now. So it's a decent amount. Gets me closer to my. Actually, that put me almost halfway there. And that's your first super on the live stream. That's a side conversation. Okay. You're a real one, Robert. Tell me your thoughts on reinventing wheels to learn new languages. Do you have a favorite wheel to rebuild? On reinventing wheels to learn new languages. Can you be more specific about what you mean by reinventing wheels to learn new languages? Like inventing new languages, you mean? Where's the silver button? Arriving. If they kick you out. Oh, that's a good question. I think I'll have that figured out if need be. And we're halfway there. Something. Squidward in a chair. I was just wondering that too. Yeah, I think that you have to like confirm some stuff with it first. Like rewatching, like resolving a well-known problem or rebuilding a well-known utility. I actually think there's quite a bit of opportunity to go back and like kind of reinvent and redo some concepts from years ago that I think were like, we did them and we're like, oh, looks, good, close enough. And then we kind of just like standardized that and we never changed it. One is, I think, regular expressions. I have a kind of teaser video on it's called criticism of the Chomsky hierarchy. And I actually think that some of the comments are some of the comments I think understood what I meant, and some of them kind of missed the point. Basically, if I was to expand on that video, I did that one video in like one day, so I didn't have time to elaborate. But my thoughts are that I think if we went back and like reinvented compilers from the ground up, and we have like better tools. So if you forget about like new syntax sugar and stuff like that, and new type wrapping, and like all the stuff that's in Rust, if you forget about all that, and you just go back to like the production of grammars and like analysis of grammars, and like operations you can do to transform a grammar between LL and LR, and like the kinds of complexity classes. If we just had like better kind of if we better figured out the ground level and then built some great tools there, and there probably even are some of those tools that exist, but they're probably like in academia by like some people that are like are writing PhD theses on these topics, but they're probably just not like very well accessible. And I think anything in university compiler courses, it's just kind of like people learn the basics of compilers. They don't go a bit more deeper than that. I think there's a lot of stuff we did it for a reason, and we just keep doing it over and over again. Like one example is tokenization. It's not really fundamentally necessary. It was something that was done on like the original PDP 11 because it didn't have enough memory to keep everything in memory. But technically, if you want, you could just build like the tokenization of things directly into like into the parser, and they're like, you could argue, technically, it is there are some advantages to it, but fundamentally, we should be able to build just like write out the grammar rules for things and then throw it into like some kind of optimizing compiler, and I think there's way more room to do stuff like rebuild how we do like grammar rules from scratch, so that we can so that eventually the goal would be to get to a higher and higher percentage of a compiler that is just completely auto-generated. So I think the idea of writing compilers from scratch is kind of like an insane idea. We should not be doing that these days. Let's see, I missed a whole bunch of chats. Okay, Brigix is what they make you work on for all eternity in hell. Good luck with not getting evicted. Thank you for the kind words from Rummy333 for $9.99. And Saul Plays sends £5. Best of luck. And that's your third super chatter on a live stream. Tried sending money with super chat, but I couldn't buy it because my cards are from Pakistan. Oh, that's no problem. I think the your kind words of appreciation are more than enough. I think it's only reserved for the people who did the other side of for the people like me who went to Nvidia or Amazon and got their big 5 million in stock options. I don't know if I could work on a compiler, having never made a non-trivial compiler. Yeah, that's why I did build my own compiler. Now it's not a good compiler and like no one uses it and it has a lot of issues, but that experience, like after you kind of figure out, I would say I had a really hard time understanding grammar rules and production rules and stuff, but then eventually, like once it kind of clicked and you start doing more and more of them and you've done a few things to like transform an LR grammar into an LL grammar a few times, it starts to click. It's like, wait a minute, why are we doing this by hand? This could be automated, and that stuff has never really been done. And stuff like associativity rules, and then so there's like the parsing of the language, but there's also code generation, and I think a big part of the code generation could also be automated if we had like a standardized way to describe the types and things like that. But I really need to. It's on my to-do list to sit down and make a more half-baked video on the topic. Sam sends another 5 on Shakir's behalf. Thank you very much. 100 gigabytes still a lot. Okay, that's a reply. Did you use Yak? I actually started from an old Yak grammar for the C programming language, and then I converted it. I think the Yak grammar is in LR, so I converted it to LL, so I can write a recursive descent parser. And I think that's one of the things, like it should be possible to, have some interface where you specify your grammar, or you specify even like a meta grammar or something, and then you can just click a button and then transform it to either LL or LR, and then just auto-generate like everything about the compiler. That's, if I had a million years to do all the academic stuff, then I'd go down that route. And then of course the big thing now is large language models. That's going to completely change a lot of compiler, a lot of how we understand and interact with programming languages. So that might even be the more exciting thing. If you're gonna waste time on something, AIs, I think it'll change things in a really big way. So it might refresh the stream. Sometimes that works. Okay. So if I leave right now, I lower the average viewer duration. I guess so. Good morning. Reinventing certain utilities is definitely a great idea for educational purposes. Is developing a deeper understanding of said utilities. Yeah, it is. It definitely teaches you a lot about how to build this stuff, but at the same time, it's. I think it would also be on the topic of compilers. It would be. It would help. I think there's innovation that can be done there, but then again, I think the large language model has almost made me think about in terms of I think my fan might be messing up. Okay, you can hear it a little bit, but it's the fan on my computer is starting to fetch up a little bit. Well, we'll see if we can make it to the end before it totally breaks down. This will be the last 2 to the X stream anyway. So, but I have a theory. You can create a compiler for mostly C-like language, which really just transforms symbols to instructions directly, assuming a language and instruction set. Yeah, I think that would. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what a compiler does. So, but there's a lot of room for optimization. The other area of that's you have to be careful with is linking. So, I think there's actually some omissions that were made in C could have been a bit more efficient if there was I think better specifications around the interfaces for functions. So if you could know more about what guarantees are in a function, then you could do way more optimization ahead of time and at link time. Do you think that there's enough credit to creative people that build things, and too much credit for people who take risks or manage things? I would say, in my opinion, there's way too much credit for people who take risks and structure things so that they reap the benefits of the reward, but take none of the blame when things go wrong. And that's a really significant pattern I see with especially there's a lot of them. I mean, the common phrase is privatize the profits and socialize the losses. And there's way too many entrepreneurs now who are like, oh, your capitalism is way better. You're just a communist. But then when things go bad, when they take a risk, they're like, oh, the government should pay for this, and that's becoming I think a bigger and bigger problem. And I mean, it's profitable to do that, so it makes sense why so many people do that. I would love any videos on compilers. I think a lot of people are afraid of them, but in the end, they need to do is translate text instructions. A simple, non-academic design. It can be very simple and easy to understand. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've kind of drifted away from that, so I'm almost not even qualified to do it. But I think I should do at least one more video on compilers, just while, you know, until I get the longer I'm away from it, the more I'll forget, and I won't be able to explain myself all. My computer fan is rattling for close to 5 years now. Yeah. I mean, it's not too bad. I think it might just be the computer's getting a bit warm, so the fans circulating a bit more. Alaku Mirena sends RON 10. Do you do any kind of home lab stuff? I guess depends what you mean by home lab. I guess I do have some. I have like a desktop server here that I use for some stuff. And oh, you know what? Actually, I completely I forgot to. I was going to go through some more stuff, but I guess the chat's been the view. I actually expected the viewers to be way low and things to be a bit slower. But so to your question, home lab stuff. Home lab stuff. I have a ZFS. I have like a couple storage bays, and some. I have a ZFS pool running on a Raspberry Pi because they have a couple of them. Nothing too crazy. And that's your first super on a live stream. Congrats. Thank you for your responses. Big kisses from France. Thank you for the kind words. I'm not talking about high-end optimizing compiler. I'm talking about a compiler that can translate simple C programs to ASM-like stuff. What do you plan on doing with your channel in the short and also long term? So on the 27th, I have a case management hearing for the landlord trying to evict everyone from this building. There's a batch of like 61 people they're trying to evict so far for so-called extensive renovations. So in the short term, things are kind of up in the air. But then long term, I guess things will be, yeah. So the original plan was I had been working on a longer form video on kind of, I was thinking about, because the new subscribers are a much more broad audience, so I was going to do some more broad topics that kind of intersect with, like, you know, try to give my take on the intersection between the technological, you know, engineering, software engineering perspective on these societal things. That was the plan. I was working on a video, and then the eviction hearing date got bumped up. So this last week I've been figuring out the evidence stuff, and then so after the 27th I will have more closure on what's going to happen, because I may actually have to completely move if they somehow evict us all, or there's tons of stuff going on with tons of uncertainty with the whole eviction situation. So what is your opinion on Canadian politics? Canadian politics is a total dumpster fire right now. Lucas sends $5, and that's it's a walking controller. Neat. Thank you very much. Those are so interesting and random. I guess they're themed with like video gaming, because I guess most the live streaming thing is mostly video gaming. That's why. Any book recommendations? I honestly don't read many books anymore. I guess when people ask that, I always recommend the How to Win Friends and Influence People. I read that years ago. That was a good book. but in the last few years, have not had any time to read books. Pretty much read everything on the internet. And I guess when I do read a book, it's usually been I download the book and read it online, or read it on the computer. Thank you for the advice. Good luck with landlord. Colon. Oh, I guess how would I read that? Surprised face. Surprised face. Sends 286 Canadian. Thank you very much. Very specific donation. I prefer to use thin clients as Raspberry alternative hosting such things. I have one set up as a NAS. It costs $20. Shipped. Quad-core x86. Making all Linux stuff really easy. Yeah, Raspberry Pis are getting expensive, so $20 is even better than a Raspberry Pi. There's a sweet spot between corporate and moonshot startup with small business. We care only about demonstrated talent, communication. I'll pay you as work at home contractor near full time. Yeah, there's a lot of kind of sweet spots in the tech world. I mean, some people just really luck out and get $400,000 a year remote work from home type positions, and it's I don't know, it's kind of a weird industry. It's almost like some of it is a bit of a lottery, and then there's, I mean, I've met other really talented people that end up at a bad company, and the company doesn't appreciate their talents, and they waste a lot of time there. Speaking of Chomsky hierarchy, I wish Noam Chomsky was more widely heard on his more recent political speech. I haven't checked up on him recently. He has some really foundational contributions for compilers, but I haven't really followed him in the last 10 years. Good luck with your situation. Thank you for your kind words. Best distro. I am immature. I would say I just use Ubuntu for everything, unless I have a reason not to. 2048 new goal. This will actually be the last one in the series. I think that the theme is getting kind of old, to be honest. And I'll have to. I'm gonna. We'll see what happens with the 27th, but for the next one, the 2048 one would be on the same day as my just a couple days before my eviction hearing, and then if that stream goes long, I'm going to need time to recover because may have to talk at the hearing, and I want to be well rested. So next week I'll probably just do a 1 hour simple block mining stream. Let's see. So those are conversations. Just connected to my computer brace for the. When I hear this man's gentle voice. Good option is okay. That's side conversation. Umberto Pernasens, €5. Best of luck. Thank you very much. And that's your first super chat on a live stream. Okay, maybe I'll. So I was planning to. I was going to do this way earlier in the live stream, but I guess it's good that I did not run out of content. But so. Let's see. Did I explain? Yeah. So these here were the times. That's how long it took to reach the goals. So the $4 one, that was really challenging. But then it got easier at 8, and then so the last one took 3 hours. And I'm not sure how much the I'm not sure what the time is, how long this has been running, but I think we're probably even on track to be about maybe 3 hours or something for this one. And do you play any video games right now? No, I don't play any video games right now. Too busy with other stuff. Dealing X05 sends CHF 10. What are your thoughts regarding Terry A. Davis? Not gonna lie, I feel reminded of him watching you in both good and bad ways. Hope everything will resolve itself. Yeah, I mean, I guess I am facing looming eviction. That's something that's in common. I would kind of prefer to not become Terry Davis, but I was introduced to his work at a very interesting time. Back when I was in university, I worked on. I was doing the famous operating systems course. It's an infamous course that's really difficult at that school, and so we were in the process of writing an operating system kernel at the time, and that was when. That was back when he had called it Lustos, and then he changed it to Sparrow OS, and then of course it was Temple OS after that. But I watched it with a friend, and we're just like, this is like amazing and hilarious that he made all this stuff, and he was just rattling off all these accomplishments. He's like, oh, I made this compiler and this and that, and like, but anyway, and it was just really. I think it was linked on Hacker News or something. That was back when I first found out about it. So I thought it was kind of inspirational for some of my other projects that one person could do such a big project. And of course, it was after that course that during that course, that was when I wrote my first microkernel, and then with a partner, and then eventually I ended up teaching an operating systems course. So. Yeah, thoughts regarding Terry A. Davis. It's a tragedy. I've looked at I looked through his code a bit, and it's actually interesting. Like, his mind was so disorganized, but his code was incredibly clean. If you look at the context switch for his operating system, it's just like a very simple, well written program that, like, when you look at the code, you would not understand. You would not guess that his mind was so disorganized. They don't have memory interface to make Linux port feasible. Okay, that's a side conversation. Temple OS for the win. How to print "Hello World" in Unity? I don't know off the top of my head. Your opinion on Snowden? Not sure that I have one. That's kind of old news. I haven't heard much about him recently. Okay, let's. So these were. I had planned to talk about this more in the earlier in the live stream, but I guess we're probably like an hour in now. But anyway, so this was one of the really big super chatters on the last live stream was from this individual, and so I'll play this. Yeah, so this was an interesting project. The creator of this super chatted pretty big super chat last time, so I wanted to give him a bit of a shout out. And let me click through the profile. So I'll maybe let me make that a little bit bigger. Yeah, so I'll maybe set a goal of like. So I think if you're interested in my content in my channel, then and I have links in the description for I think for the channel, and there's also a GitHub he has for this. So if you want to go take a look at this, and so to give a recommendation, I will say most people would probably say like subscribe, but what I would recommend to you instead is like maybe just sort by most popular. And if you're interested in this, then you can come through and you can just watch 30 seconds of one of these videos, because I think the way the YouTube algorithm works is once you watch a video, then it's going to start to show up in your feed. And I think like, you know, subscribing doesn't really do too much. To the really more impactful thing is to get watch time, and because there's a lot of channels that I watch that I'm not even subscribed to. So and if you end up clicking on more of them, then that'll kind of YouTube will feed you more of them, and that's basically the same thing as being subscribed. But of course, the quantifiable output here is the subscriber count. So I'll maybe set a goal of maybe if we can get him up to 700 subscribers, then that'll get a little bit more attention on this project, and you know, help boost things out a little bit more. I think it's a decent way to give back. He gave a pretty big super chat, so I'll give some attention to this project. It's not really like a project. And the other thing is I have not downloaded this. I've not tested it. I'm just you know, promoting the YouTube channel for now. And then if you're super interested, you can check out. There's a GitHub project for it and stuff like that. But you know, do your own due diligence with checking for you know, do your own due diligence when installing untrusted software. Let's see if anyone subscribed. Oh, nice. We got 5 subscribers. Let's see if we can get one more. Maybe it just lags. I guess there's only 100 people here, so there we go. So we got 2 more. So that's a good start. And then I'll maybe set a goal. I'll check back on this later, and then I'll maybe keep bringing it up in some streams until I see 700 subscribers on it. And so, of course, on the topic of Temple OS, here is Temple OS running in the HackMatrix. So the idea was, it's honestly it's kind of similar to a lot of ideas I've had of like you know, I think a lot of people have had the idea of some kind of metaverse. I'm not sure where the creator is going to take this eventually, but it's something that I think I mean, I've often thought it would be cool if the operating system was basically Minecraft. So you like boot up the computer and you're just in like Minecraft or something, and then all of the, you know, user interface features here, like the control panel and stuff. If it was like a physical control panel in like a 3D world or something, I think that would be an interesting way to do all user interfaces in the future. But of course, in this, I guess the stopgap would be, you know, you could have a 3D world you can interact with, but then you have kind of an outlet to just regular Windows and stuff, like for backward compatibility. But I think it would be really interesting to see like basically every interface, like buttons and all that kind of stuff, completely reinvented for like a 3D universe, which is, I'm not sure if that's exactly what the creator had in mind, but you know, interesting. There's not many people working on stuff like this, so. Uh-oh. let's see. Are we? Oh, still going? Huh. So we're still. So is it still the same stream? Oh, that's interesting. So we still got 108. Oh, okay, excellent. I thought we were done for there. Oh, okay. that was random. Two monitors and two mice. Yeah, I have a stream never went away from me. Yeah, for it so I have this computer set up, and then the output goes to this, and then there's another like computer for the streaming. So I guess on the other computer, the Firefox just crashed randomly. So, but it looks like it's still on. So that's good. We can continue the stream. Hopefully it doesn't crash again. Yeah. So anyway, this is the project. And let's see, what else was I going to say about it? So this is the idea. You can have a 3D game engine, and you can navigate around. And I actually have not, to be fair, I have not tried it, and I have not downloaded it. But it looks like the creator also did a bunch of live streams as well. So because this is primarily a live stream audience, if you think these live streams are interesting, then go ahead and click on one of them and watch them for 30 seconds. And we got even a few more subscribers. Let's see, what was I going to say? Okay, yeah, and there's a yeah, and there's a GitHub for it, and of course, again, do your own due diligence. I've not tested this or downloaded it, but here is the GitHub for this project, and you can navigate around in 3D space with WASD. Open a window. So it's a neat concept. So I think there's room for the world for like basically Minecraft that has Linux in it. Okay, I'm behind on the chat. I missed a whole bunch of the chats because I didn't on server. Let's see, we're back. Live streaming until the forces beyond me stop. Yeah, if I guess if the stream crashes, then I'll probably call it a day. Nice. I need to restart my Firefox regularly to avoid multiple second-long lag spikes, even when just typing. Yeah, actually, I have that exact problem. Although restarting doesn't fix it. It's let's see. Someone did this for Minecraft, didn't they? Or does it have larger lore than I think? I haven't dug super far into this. I've been very busy with lots of other stuff, but I figured out this was a pretty big super chatter last time, so I might as well give some attention to this project. And I can also connect this with my other block mining simulation game. I'd often thought my whole idea with that is like a lot of games, the 3D environment, you can model as just like blocks in a universe. And I've often thought it would make sense to have like a block-based universe where you can connect to it with multiple clients. And this I don't know what the creator's vision for this is in the future, but this kind of reminds me of like, this almost seems like it's inevitable that we'll eventually invent like some kind of metaverse, and especially with I don't know if it's on here. They have I think it was this one. Yeah, so they have Temple OS running in their game, so you could have like we could have multiple instances of multiple other things running inside. Everything can run inside of everything. You could have Minecraft, inside HackMatrix, inside Temple OS, inside all these kinds of things. And everything can be ported to run everything. Everything can be like infinitely nested virtual machines and stuff. That seems like the inevitable future we're going toward with metaverses and computer games and operating systems and stuff. So, of course, it's a lot of work to build all that, but let's see. Just following through the chat here. Notice the warnings above his head. Okay, that's I think a side conversation about OBS. Did you get the $500 last time? Yes, I met my goal from last time, and so this is just the inevitable doubling. I gotta move that mouse cursor. Firefox does that, especially on YouTube. Yeah, my main laptop, I bought it specifically because it was like certified to support Ubuntu, and when I upgraded to the newest version, I figured surely it should work because it was the last version was supported. But then the NVIDIA drivers were all messed up, and I had to install some other drivers which kind of fixed it. But now it has this weird like lag spike and stuff. So it's unfortunate that Linux is not completely with the year of the Linux desktop is not it's not quite here, but it's getting closer, I think. Let's see, that's I think a side conversation. What really bothers me, don't have a good interoperable protocol for Minecraft-like world. We have servers. We want a federation-like. Jabber. Yeah, I think my block binding simulation game, my thought process is just to have like a simple interface for requesting parts of the world and stuff, and just everything is made out of blocks, and then have like a separate kind of schema or representation that can be attached to the blocks. But again, that's another, once at the moment I have bigger issues like addressing the eviction situation, so that'll have to wait before I can really do much more on that. But in the meantime, I can personally, I honestly think like people said I should do sponsorships. I would actually like to. I think there's maybe a market on the internet for just like doing segments on like little neat projects. Lots of people have like neat projects they're working on, which brings me to the next topic, which is this is this is a shell that another person who has been a frequent super chatter of many times is also working on this project. So this project currently has 2 stars. So maybe we can set a goal of maybe getting like 10 stars on this. So he's looking for some feedback on a shell that he's developing. Now, in fairness, again, I've not downloaded this, and I've not tested it, but he's looking for some feedback from terminal. So if you're a terminal enthusiast who's looking for a new shell, then go ahead and give this a bit of a review. Like I said, NVIDIA suck because of that. Yeah, NVIDIA has not been the greatest with their drivers. I'm on Intel HD PC driver, so I doubt it's graphics. Just FF and Google code don't work well together. Yeah, I've had Firefox crash, I think a couple times before. Just like weird errors. Did I see Kotlin? I think yes. I saw that in here. I actually don't know. I don't know anything about Kotlin or Kotlin. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I'm a simple man. I see Lua scripting. I star. Yeah. Let's see if there's any more stars on it. Oh, we got 2 more. So we need 6 more. But I guess of course this will go out in the VOD and a few people will watch it. I'd hope to cover this segment way earlier, but unfortunately it's I think we're at least like an hour into it. Would you fight a Eviction again? I'm still not done fighting this Eviction. So once I'm finished fighting this Eviction, then I can do a full review on my. I'll give it a number of stars out of 5. They have more stars now. Who do you live with now? I don't live with anyone at the moment. Yeah, so the live prompt updating. Yeah, so he was looking for some feedback on the project. Actually, maybe I'll just put that back to the start and full screen. Yeah, so what he's illustrating here is the it's in the shell and it's updating. It's able to live update. And so this here is, I think this was the one illustrating multiple return codes. Yeah, so I guess the idea here is that it gives you a bit more information back. So you run a command and it shows you like how long it ran for, and then it also shows you multiple return codes. So I guess this is not that's not a super practical example, but I guess I could see this would be good, I think, for like if you're trying to debug a some kind of more complex statement, and to be able to actually see what the return codes are and get timing back and stuff like that. So I could see an interest for that. Personally, I basically always just stick with like the vanilla versions of things, because that whatever's the lowest common denominator that works everywhere, because I'm hate constantly having to learn new stuff. But I could definitely see I assume among my audience there's a big group of people who are always interested in trying the latest new and experimental stuff. Let's see. Yeah, and I won't go through all of those. But he's got a few more examples on some of the intended features. Oh, we're up to 5 stars. So maybe I'll come back. I'll come back later and check to see if we're at 10. And if you want, I think there's the link. There's a link to this and also the HackMatrix in the description to this stream. What is your favorite programming language? I guess I don't really have a favorite necessarily. I would say I try to pick whatever's most relevant for the current job. So Shell is what I use from, it's very low fidelity prototyping, and then usually I'll once I have something kind of automated with Shell, if I need to make it a bit more robust, I'll maybe do something more complex, then I'll go to Python. And then the kind of last, if it's a desktop application, then I'll go to Java. And of course, with the web, I guess you used to be able to run Java on the web, but now everything is JavaScript. So if you're writing stuff that's going to be in web, your favorite programming language has to be JavaScript, or I guess TypeScript or any of those languages. Which I've not actually gotten around to learning TypeScript yet. I really wanted to make REPL-like app. So this will be quite helpful. It has to be on Kotlin as well. Excellent. I think you're the right target market for it then. Let's see if we got any more stars. Oh, we got 6. Nice. What's that? Programming language that's super simple and implemented in reverse publish notation. So the parser is, oh yeah, Forth. .60 and resolution 5. Could be good. Not into PCs too much. Let's see. I guess is that a side conversation? Ryzen. Let's see. I think I must have started at 3 or so. So I'm probably about 2 hours in. So I'm getting, my voice is kind of starting to wear out. Maybe I'll do a break. Maybe I'll just stare vegetatively forward. It's interesting that the chat has slowed down a lot, but the current viewers, oh, I just lost 10 viewers. People don't want to watch me space out. Do a staring contest? Oh wow. Why do you need this money? Why would you donate without knowing? So the purpose to this stream is I started at $1 live streaming until I get $1 live streaming until I get 2, and so I've been just doubling it every single time, and so now I'm at the 1,024. And so the disclaimer at the start was I'm going to spend it on candy, but that's a bit of a lie because I'll spend it on living expenses and stuff. And ideally, if I can get a bit of savings going, then it'd be nice to get better equipment. I can buy a replacement fan for my computer, and so it'll be just improve the streaming setup. But thank you very much. That's wow, we're already at 720. We're all basically 3/4 of the way there. Wow, that's I expected this one. I expected the views to be way lower on this stream because the last one was a bit lower, but this one I think is actually, this might even be a record stream. Replacement fan. You already have lots of fans in the chat. Oh, thanks. I wish I could take some of you and put, because both my computers need replacement fans. I was actually hoping to wait. I was hoping until the fan for the other one came, but it's been in the mail for 40 days, and then I was going to order the next one. But everything's all up in the air with the looming eviction hearing soon. My whole PC is going to cost half your donations. Yeah, I mean I'm incredibly grateful that this silly thing is working now, that I can just sit down and get 1,024 in super chats. That is going to really help me out into I think like last month's earnings. That pays off the debt, that pays the rent, and covers the root canal and stuff. But this month, I'm doing the revenue. This month is not quite as much as it was last month, but it's still going to be quite good. So I'm going to be cash flow positive. So I will actually have a little bit of savings after this, and then now that I'm no longer on the brink of completely running out of money, then I'll be able to actually spend a little bit of money on improving the computer and stuff like that, improving the setup, maybe even buy a better microphone. I have another the main microphone I've been using. It's a much bigger condenser microphone, and I was gonna try it out today, but then I realized that it seems to have a lot more static on it. And the weird thing is this mic here, this is a shotgun condenser mic, and this one has the noise is way lower. The hiss on this one is way lower. But when I bought it, it actually came with two identical microphones, and the other one has a really bad hiss on it, but this one doesn't. I don't know what. So it's the exact same microphone, literally, but it has a totally different noise floor. Noise floor. Let's see. Scrolling YouTube chat. Still a murderous Firefox. Yeah, Firefox is. I guess I'm not sure what their future is, because the organization has been kind of. I don't know. They were running out of money or something, and they changed their goals, and they were more like they were kind of all about open source and privacy protection and stuff, but now they've kind of pivoted, and now they're going to try to make money, and I don't know what their plans are for the future. I guess we may just only have one browser now from now on. Are you on TikTok? Yes, I have a TikTok account. I think you can if you click through, it's on my profile there somewhere. What are you doing in stream? What are you doing in stream? In this stream, I had to plan some content, and I guess I've got distracted by reading off the chat. Let me refresh this to see if we got any more stars. Oh, we're still at 6, but yeah. So this was a frequent super chatter who was building his own shell. Go ahead and check this out and give him some feedback. Maybe file some issues and give some your opinions on it. And check out the demos. And the next thing I had was some AI images that I've been. That was the next piece of content that I was going to do. And then the end of the stream is just going to default to the block mining simulation game. Candy mukbang. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if people want to listen to me crunch on stuff. I think last time I did the part where I started chewing on stuff, that dropped the viewers off. People don't really want to listen to me eat. and it doesn't quite sound too pleasant in my opinion. When I went back to watch the VOD, had to restart Firefox 2 times during the stream already. Yeah, it's and it's unfortunate too, because I think the standards for web have become so insanely complicated that they've basically made it cost like infinite amounts of money to actually build a browser. TikTok is getting banned in the US tomorrow. Yeah, I heard about that, but I think I saw a Hacker News headline that said like Trump is going to step in and do something. So we'll see. It probably won't get banned, but it'll probably be like I guess the kind of looming threat of a ban almost accomplishes the same thing as, like, it accomplishes a lot of what they want with the ban without doing it. Because if you're on a platform, like if they said they're going to ban YouTube tomorrow, I would probably be looking for an alternative to grow on. And there's probably, like, if they just have a looming ban that gets canceled at the last minute, and they do that enough times, eventually everyone will migrate from TikTok to YouTube, and then they don't have to ban it. Scott Monk with 25 Canadian dollars. Good luck. Also, please consider playing 2048 on the next stream. Oh, so this will actually be the last one in the series. I have my eviction hearing, my case management hearing for the eviction process is next on the 27th. So the next stream would be fall on the 25th. So I'm going to go back to the kind of regular boring streams. But that would be appropriate. I've actually never played that game, to be honest. I'm already about Firefox as well. Ironically, wasn't it Google who was forced to stop paying Firefox for anti-monopoly stuff? Sad that this will lead to a Google monopoly. Yeah, the future is uncertain. We do kind of have like the monopolies with especially where like AI is and stuff, and the control of data, and because it kind of seems like Microsoft now just wants to like train their AI on all of our data, and they don't want to. It's almost like they want to like intercept basically all human outputs and then train on it and try to take control of it, reproduce. It's basically almost like, legal. AI allows you to like launder theft of everything. NT USB microphone Rode would be a good one if you'd like to have portability. Yeah, I have a in like an XLR mic with a preamp and stuff like that. So theoretically, I guess you can get pretty good USB mics, but I feel for this kind of thing, the most important thing is the quality of the sound. So I'll try to go with the top of the line audio, because I think it really makes a difference. I watch you eat candy all day. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't know if that's the kind of audience I want to build. But I don't know. I guess if that's where the economy is going these days, then you got to move with the times. I really like how you are adding a bit to your Superchat goal every stream. Should help a lot with finding the right audience. Yeah, I've been just doubling it every time. Started at 1 and now at 1,024. I think I may do this whole kind of process again with like a whole ramp up the amount, but I'll change it to something a bit more interesting, and I need like I guess need to like prepare a bit more to make it a bit more interesting and engaging, because I think like the price list I have is not really it's not really super great, and I don't think it a lot of people seem to just ignore the price list. Ganu Krishna with $4.99. Appreciate your work. Thank you very much. And that's your first super chat on a live stream. Congrats. 2048 is crazy addictive. Guy in my hackerspace at the website burned into his MacBook screen. I hope life gets better for you. Yeah, I mean, getting I guess you can always say like how much worse can it get, but we'll see. I think things are the fact that YouTube brings in revenue and people are watching the videos. That means I think it's kind of doubly good. It means there's it solves money problems in the short term, and it means there's an audience for this in the future, and the numbers keep going up, and hit 100,000 subscribers recently. So I think that's I've always kind of thought that's like that's the threshold of like when it's when you're when you're on the threshold of like real YouTuber and you can actually make a living off it. So you sound parched. Drink water. Yeah, I've been talking nonstop for a couple hours. I said I was going to space out a while ago, and then my viewers dropped, but then I started talking again. I can't. I feel obligated to respond to people's questions. Eating $512 worth of candy. That would be that'd be a lot. We love Rob. Oh, thank you for the kind words. Firefox's decline is really disappointing. So I would love a selection of renderers. I would have loved to see them get as efficient as Edge. Honestly, I think I actually think my conspiracy theory is basically there was a deliberate attempt to make the web standards so insanely complicated that the only people who could compete with the web standards were companies like Google, and that was ultimately what kind of destroyed it. Because for Firefox, like we don't need, like if you look at the HTML standard and how many insane numbers of things, like if anything, we should have just made like HTML on the web simpler and like simplified the rules, and like there's so many complicated things like the box model and stuff and they keep like adding stuff and changing things and adding new selectors and and then web components for a while, and there's a few things that's never caught on. I think all that stuff, that's just like infinite complexity that only Google or Microsoft could afford to keep up with. And actually, I think Microsoft even gave in the towel, didn't they? They're using like the, what is it, WebKit? How can Firefox be the reason we got rest more or less? And it's also dying. There's no Edge, it's just Chromium fork. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So it's they own it all. Let's see. Controlled opposition is a thing. Mozilla bought and paid for. Yeah, it seems like we are getting to kind of like a late stage predatory monopolies, and I kind of hope it doesn't like totally destroy civilization. If we can get some antitrust movements to pick up steam, that would be a good thing. But then again, I better not say that because the AI is listening to me now, and it's gonna downvote my stream because I'm doing something that's not aligned with the goals of the platform. I'll switch to links when only Chromium forks are available. Yeah, that's the good old faithful links browser, where you have to manually approve every cookie. Just add some crazy things. You will do at each level as it goes up. Yeah, I think it would make sense to think about something more, more interesting. Have some more thought process put into the different levels. It's all good. Just say asthma gold or moist critical a few times, and you'll be back. Yeah, that's true. I'll just talk about asthma gold, and then he'll react to me. He'll sit down and watch the whole 3-hour live stream, and we'll be in business. I believe it was HTML tracker just before they switched to Chromium. Yeah, I didn't really follow the Microsoft lineage. I haven't used Windows in let's see, like 2011. That's when I kind of switched basically completely to Linux. I think I used to dual boot for a while back then, but then I think by 2013 or something, that's when I completely switched over. YouTube and Google are so annoying to go against. Really impressive stuff, honestly. Yeah, they're just such massive organizations that it's not even like a person you're fighting with. It's like a giant system. How much do you take for ad on your vid? If you agree with the idea of business. I've never actually got an ad sponsor on my videos. I have, I guess, like just right now, there was a couple of people that did some super chats, and just gave them some attention on there. Let's see if anyone got any more stars on this. Nope, still at 6. The hope will be if we can get them up to 10, then I think that's we're given some decent value. And it's a cross-platform shell that has some unique features. Shows you has live updating, and shows you return codes and stuff. And I think we don't have enough. There's nobody out there who does call loads for small indie projects related to terminal based and Linux based stuff. So maybe that can be my business niche. I can advertise other people's techie projects like this. You mentioned your intense biking regime during one of your internships, one of your videos. Do you still cycle? No, I have not. I've not biked in quite a while. Good luck, soldier. Thanks for making me aware of Kross. Oh, no problem. BGN 150, and that's your first super chat on a live stream. That must be quite a bit. We're up to 800 now. What's the conversion on that? That must be like almost $100 or something. Thank you very much for that incredibly generous donation. Are you going to do a 100K subscriber special? Oh, 114 Canadian. Oh, wow, it's even more than that. Yeah, I really wish YouTube would give you the conversions, because if someone is I don't have the currencies memorized very well, and if someone gives a big donation, I want to give them credit where credit's due, and sometimes you get I forget what the ones are where it's it's like 10,000 or something, and you're like, wow, this is a huge amount, but it's only the conversion is pretty small. 100K subscriber special. I've not even thought about it yet, to be honest. Wow, you're from my country. I guess you're, let's see, that's, is that, Bulgarian Lou? Interesting. What do you think of Javier Milei? He's the new leader of Argentina, if I remember correctly. The only thing I can I've watched some like economics videos on his the effects of some of his policies, and he seems to be like improving things there. So that's a positive. I know their inflation has gone down a lot, but they've also had higher unemployment. So it's kind of like, it makes sense because they're not spending so much through government programs and stuff. So those people are now in the economy looking for jobs. So I hope things can. Time will tell. Can he get things under control? Can he get the currency under control? That'll be the ultimate judge of whether his approaches are going to work or not. I used VPN and they locked my account. So this is what you get. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but in this context, you mean YouTube locked your account? Let's see. Luke Weil sends $1.99. Thank you very much. So we're at 875.87. Wow, we're like $150 away. It's hard to represent conversion safely because of U.S. consumer financial protections against abuse of advantageous practices against consumers. Oh, interesting. I wonder if, that's kind of sounds like the kind of thing that would be some weird kind of obscure law preventing them from stating that. Oh, I think I missed Lightspeed became a member of a student here. Welcome to the club. They just didn't let you pay over a VPN, huh? I guess it makes sense. I guess the other advantage of Google takes 30% on the Superchats, but the other big advantage of that is if there's like chargebacks or something like that, then I don't even have to think about that. It just kind of shows up through the exact same mechanism as the ad dollars. But I think with PayPal, if you send people money on PayPal, you can like send someone $1 on PayPal, and then you can like charge it back, say like it's fraud or something, and then the other person gets like a $20 charge, and they lose $20 and they lose the original money, and you don't have to think about that kind of nonsense at all with over the if you do super chats or super thanks. I have $0. Welcome to the internet. That's fine. You can hang out. I think the super chat should only be for anyone who's those rich Amazon, Nvidia people. And if you can find some benefit here without having to do any super chats, then more power to you. You should consider donation alerts or similar. Oh yeah, I guess yeah. I mean, these are all things that I need to think more about. But at the moment, there's so much going on. There's so much. There's a bunch of stuff I need to. I need to catch up on just like getting the replacement fans for the computer. There's a bunch of. I actually still have not got the payout from December month, that was a record month for YouTube, but I still don't have that money in the bank account yet, so I'm still kind of running on empty today. But once I kind of catch up, and once there's some after the 27th, I'll have more information about the whole eviction situation. Then I can maybe work on having a better quality production. Oh look, it's now that it's actually nighttime, my lighting is looks a little bit better now. So it was kind of washed out earlier. Chat, what is the worst topping on pizza? PayPal is evil. I've never heard someone not regret taking payments through PayPal. That's besides all the other business practices. Honey chargebacks, banning without reason. Oh yeah, that's the other thing is I remember watching in some of those documentaries that Honey, the company, was owned by PayPal, which is kind of crazy because their whole thing is like they ban you for anything like remotely, fraud related. So I thought they'd be like they would have like very high standards on what they what kind of activity they allow and stuff, but yet they buy a company that's basically scamming people. It's very very strange. I could kind of excuse the kind of predatory like logging of accounts and excluding people and shutting down payment processing and stuff if it was in the name of like safety and best practices and stuff, but yeah, strange. Hi, appreciate sharing your experience in the industry. No problem. Undercooked onions or black olives? Yeah, I'm not a fan of olives myself. Quick on the PayPal thing. Another streamer friend of mine luckily was able to get the person who did that to them banned through the sport. But I don't assume everyone is that lucky. Yeah, and the problem is like it can happen again. It's not like you can solve that problem. If you end up with a bunch of people that don't like you or something, you could just have a bunch of people that gang up on you and then send you a whole bunch of you get like some person on could get a bunch of their friends to gang up and just all send you this $1 thing on some and cost you a lot of money. How's the eviction situation going? My landlord's letting me stay for free while I try to get a job. Nicest person on the planet. Yeah, that's awesome. We need more landlords like that. I mean, that's a really good landlord. This one is still trying to evict us, even though we still pay the rent under the guise of supposed extensive renovations. So the current status is I had an N13 eviction hearing, which was going to be based on the merits of do the renovations, are they so extensive they need vacant possession. That was going to be on the 19th, but they moved up. They pulled me into a case management hearing with other people, so that's going to be the 27th. But it's kind of a problem because I have less time to prepare evidence, and I was preparing to be a bit more prepared for it. But so anyway, after the 27th, I'll have more information about what is going on. But yeah, there's lots of uncertainty and lots of developments going on. Being so knowledgeable, Linux. Why do you use Ubuntu? Have you tried other distros? I have. I would say my opinion is Ubuntu is it's kind of the most well supported, and it just works for if you want to do general stuff, if you want to actually use your computer to get work done, Ubuntu is a good distribution. In my opinion, the other distributions are if there's something pre-installed that you already that's on that distribution, then I'd suggest using it. So, for example, there's I think it's I almost forget the name, Kali Linux, I think, for the that's the security oriented one, if I remember correctly. So there's a program if you want to try cracking zip passwords. There's a program called like zip2john or something that you can use to take an encrypted zip file and then get a like a hash that you can try to crack. And that program zip2john, I can never get that installed for some reason on my like regular Ubuntu. So rather than like try to screw around with it to get installed, because it needs some crypto library that I don't have, and then I have to try to install the library and then it doesn't install. So I'm just like, you know what? I'll just create like a virtual machine or set up another computer with Kali Linux on it, because in Kali Linux, it's already installed for you and all the packages and stuff are completely figured out. So in that case, that's a reason to use that different distribution. And then another reason is Ubuntu does not have SE Linux pre-installed. So I did a couple in my core utils commands. I did a video on the runcon command and the chcon command, and for those commands, I needed SE Linux installed. So instead of installing SE Linux and figuring out how to do that properly on Ubuntu, which is it's quite complex to do from scratch, I just installed Fedora on another computer, and that way it comes pre-installed. And then other things like, for example, if I want to do like embedded stuff, Raspbian OS for Raspberry Pi, I would use that. And so, in my opinion, picking the right distribution is like, what do you want? What exactly do you want to do? And a lot of people consider it kind of. I think what people see most about the distribution is like what window manager is installed. And in my opinion, that's not really the most important. You can basically install any of these things, SE Linux or these hacking tools or whatever. You can install any of that on any distribution. In fact, you can basically convert any distribution into any other distribution with enough commands. The problem is the amount of work you have to do in order to get from one to the other is so insane that like what if you want, you could probably convert Ubuntu into Arch Linux with a series of commands. But why would you do that when you can just install like Arch Linux or anything else? So that's my long-winded answer. We got a super chat here from Sully Passman. I love your being a 37-year-old broke loser video. Very interesting. Watch it till the end. Please make experience videos like that more. Yeah, I have. It's on my to-do list. Things are kind of hectic at the moment, but it's on the to-do list. I was working on another video about some other kind of general tech topic, but then my hearing date was moved forward, so that's taken up all my attention in the last week. Zip2John, I've heard of John the Ripper. Yeah, I think it's part of that, but I think Zip2John I think is the name of the executable. I think John the Ripper has a bunch of things in it, if I remember correctly, but I think Zip2John was the name of that specific executable I was looking for. Let's see. We got $10 here from Jarno Tiny for 10 euros. When are you moving to Finland? Keep up the good work. Finland. If I was to move to somewhere in Europe, moving to the middle of nowhere in northern Finland, that does sound like an interesting idea. I would not mind having a house in the middle of nowhere in Finland, but it's that for now. That's on the distant to-do list. Once the YouTube revenue goes up to the stratosphere, then and I can afford all my computer fans and stuff like that, then I'll start saving for my house in Finland. But anyway, thank you for the 10 euros. I watched Twitch installs Arch Linux, so I'm going to end up installing Gentoo on top, if I recall correctly. Yeah, ultimately it's the distribution, it's just a bunch of libraries and stuff like that. I mean, the challenge you might run if you really want to like, I mean, one thing you could do is like boot up Ubuntu, take like a hash of literally every file in the file system, and then to have some process to like literally change every single file in the file system to become some other file. And there's some other there's certain things where the most difficult part would be probably like all the systemd stuff and stuff with the booting, like the fs tab file. If you have some kind of thing where the IDs don't match or something, then when you reboot it, it's going to be it's going to completely not boot. You're going to have to do a bunch of work to fix that. But theoretically, I think there's you could just write a script that automates that process to like literally change Ubuntu into Arch or vice versa. But of course, the difficult part would be like, what if the because you'd have to interact with the package manager of that other system, and if the package, like even on Ubuntu, sometimes your package manager gets into a totally screwed up state, and it's like it says you can't install this because there's packages that are being held back or whatever, and you gotta do all these things to like you mess with your package manager and uninstall -purge and yeah, so you'd likely run into that stuff. But of course, that's why you don't turn one distribution into another. You just install the one that works, and then you're good. Let's see. How are the shoutouts? Is that doing? Is that a response to a previous comment? The shoutout stats. I'm not sure what you mean by that. So Lee Pesman with another €5. How do you feel about the job market? I haven't received any recruiter message in LinkedIn for several weeks now, and LinkedIn jobs seem all fake now. Yes, your sentiment completely echoes what I've heard from a lot of other people, and I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what the best advice is for that. I think it. What it seems like is the whole job model is changed. It's like it's a lower chance of a success on both ends. So companies seem to be looking through more applications, like the number of applications they get for a given position has increased, and the number of applications you have to send out has also increased. So the probability of success for a given application has gone way down. Like in the boomer generation, you walk in and you shake someone's hand and say, I'm your guy, I can work for you. The probability of that working was maybe like 1 in 5 in like the year 1900, and then now the probability of doing that is like That's what happens when you try to talk for a few hours straight. I don't know how the big streamers do it. I guess if I did this every day, I'd get used to it, but this is really challenging for me. But yeah, I think the reality is just that the probability of an individual job application resulting in an offer has just gone down, and it seems to be going down even more. And yeah, honestly, it's so much waste on both sides. I mean, actually, one of the other answers, someone asked a pretty similar question earlier in the stream. I would actually say it would be a good idea to like invert your research. So there's like how to optimize you could search for how to optimize your job search applications for LinkedIn applications. But then you could also learn what does the opposite side look like. So you could search for how to auto reject people on LinkedIn, how to auto reject applicants on LinkedIn without them knowing about it. and then you could go on LinkedIn or like what. I guarantee you, there's YouTube videos on how to set up all this stuff and how to set up the automated filters to filter people out on LinkedIn and whatever job sites you're applying on, and learn about it from the recruiter's perspective. Learn what recruiting tools exist, and then that would let you know kind of what you're up against, and you might kind of learn some ways to sneak through the cracks and stuff. You'll realize like, oh, okay, if I have this thing in my resume, then I'll get auto rejected. But if I take that out or I change it or something, then that's kind of probably where I would be looking at now to try and learn both sides of it. The HackMatrix subscribers and cross stars. The shout outs. Oh, you can. Yeah, let's do another round of that. So we got 6. Oh, we're at 8. Wow, we're almost at the goal. And then HackMatrix. 649. So yeah, I'll probably maybe I'll mention this one in in a subsequent stream as well. It seems like a pretty big, interesting project. So Jarno Tiny for 690 euros. What do you think about Elon Musk and Trump? Your voice is awesome. I think it would work for instructional videos. 5 out of 5. It doesn't tell me. I can't tell if I'm at 5,024. Okay. Let me do these super chats here. So the Elon Musk one, Elon Musk and Trump. I think Elon Musk is an interesting character, and I've always find it interesting. Like whenever I mention Elon Musk, there'll be some people like, "Wow, that Elon's so great," and then there's another group of people who are like, "That Elon, I don't like him very much. He does things that I don't like. Care for him." And I find it interesting that I think Elon is probably playing some like interesting mind games to basically stay on people's mind all the time. And as much as Elon says strange things and stuff like that all the time, I think it's good that we live in an era where the kind of like gossipy celebrities are people like Elon Musk who are building rocket ships and stuff, rather than in the past celebrities were like what's her face, the Kardashians and stuff like that. I think it's better that the kind of mainstream gossip, like normal people talk about Elon Musk and stuff like that, and are like either for or against Elon Musk, whereas previously there was like no discussion about that at all. So that's kind of my opinion on that. At least we're focusing on like imagine if in the political position that Elon is in, if that was Kim Kardashian instead, and she was still just like doing her fashion and makeup and stuff like that, I think it would be that wouldn't be quite as good as where we are now. But anyway, I hope that all whatever your opinion on that is, I hope it leads to some improvements in the world, certainly in the U.S. and I don't know if it'll roll over into Canada as well. And the huge over the finish line super chat from Sam. I have so much anger in my soul for landlords, wrenching people everywhere they can. I was evicted during the pandemic. Don't tell my girlfriend I blew $100, but I really want to see you be successful. My parents' social friend. Sorry for your voice, but thanks for the stream. I could probably still go for a bit longer. I guess I just need more practice to stretch out my vocal cords or whatever. But thank you very much for the huge donation. I hope you're in a good place. I kind of wonder. I think I should reserve the big donations for anyone who's at Amazon and Nvidia, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm glad that you found some interest in my streams, and yeah, I probably will talk a bit more about the eviction stuff in the future, because it's such a serious problem. Not just the eviction stuff, but like the housing crisis is so bad that it's just, we are wasting so much time thinking about everything related to housing, like this whole N13 eviction process, where the rule says we're supposed to have rent control, but now they have to make up all these things to to find reasons to evict people, and it just it adds so much inefficiency to the economy, and I think it's also important to people talk about how boomers had it good, but young people today are really hurting. But really, the reality is there's a lot of the people in this building who are suffering from this rent eviction. There are a lot of them are elderly people, and they don't have a live stream. They don't have the ability to make ranting YouTube videos to talk about it and complain about it. So that's I think another thing I want to raise a little bit of awareness about is that there's young people are suffering, but old people are also suffering, I think, like just as much or even more than young people. And they don't have the older guy in this building, he doesn't have a cell phone, he doesn't have a computer, he doesn't have internet. And so those are the kind of like silent people, silent sufferers who are in the exact same boat as me right now. But anyway, I'm kind of rambling on a bit. Let's see. So Bradley says we are at 1,050.34. Stats don't show. Let's see. This has been amazing. This honestly, this is pretty amazing. I reached my goal. I'll trust you on that figure, Bradley. I guess probably if I hover over it, it'll probably show me the detail. But as I promised, this will be the final 2 to the X stream, and I'll probably try to do something similar in the future. Maybe if I can get the sales stuff figured out, then I'll maybe do like live streaming until I make X dollars in sales or something, and then I'll then maybe we can go to an even bigger number and challenge ourselves. No worries. We're just sitting in my PayPal. Oh, okay, that's good. So I'm not. I don't want to put anyone out on the street, or be putting anyone under undue financial hardship. I don't know what's going to happen with the economy soon. I hope. I hope you don't live in Canada, because if Trump comes in and actually puts those tariffs in, like that might actually tank our economy. So best wishes for your elderly neighbors as well. Yes, they definitely need it. I think we've all learned today. Sam is one of the nicest people in the chat. I mean, there's a lot of incredibly nice people. It's honestly, it's kind of surreal in a way that I can just turn on the computer and there's this YouTube thing actually works. And so I also think it's kind of time to stop this series. There's been a lot of you who are really generous, and I think it's going to get kind of old if I just keep doing the donation live stream chats without really actually returning anything of substantial value. So there are a lot of good people in the world, contrary to popular belief. There definitely are. There's a lot of like ordinary people, like the people I meet in this building. They're just like normal people. But then of course there's a lot of unsavory entrepreneurs around, which kind of goes back to some of the other themes I was talking about. But okay, I think I missed some of the other chats, but we're past our goal. So as promised, the live stream ends when I reach the goal. So I think I'll double check that I actually reached it in a sec here. But other than that, I think that'll be the end of the 2 to the X live stream challenge, and then next week I'll probably just do a regular like 1 hour stream and play the block mining simulation game. All right, talk to you guys later.